everybody, it's Alicia with Graceful Plants, and I'm back. So if you watched one of my previous videos, it was basically just a long, boring story time about everything that's gone down in the past couple months while I've taken a filming hiatus due to the pandemic, and basically just focusing on my family and trying to stay healthy and balancing this crazy work, family stuff. So I'm finally back. Jack is back in daycare, and I decided to take a vacation day from work today to focus on Mama. So instead of going and getting a pedicure or something, which I really need, I decided to film and get back into the swing of things. So I thought I would start my coming back, my reintroduction to YouTube by doing a little bit of a plant tour, just kind of show you what has thrived, what has survived, what is barely surviving. Because if you watch the previous video, my long, boring story time, I was a very, very bad plant parent during the pandemic lockdown. And when I say a lot of my plants have suffered, it was no joke. A lot of them did. But I decided to kind of give you an update on what's still here, kind of show you or tell you about a few things that I killed, which again was a lot. It was quite a few expensive plants. So, because you know, heaven forbid the spider plant die. No, because they'll never die. Only my, really expensive alocasias and, a couple philodendrons. The kind of stuff that I really wouldn't want to die. Yeah, killed it. Killed them all. So, to anyone else out there that had plants die from neglect during the pandemic, you're not alone. But it's a little warm out here on the sun porch, which most of my plants have been moved out to our sun porch, either here or outside. I do have a few plants remaining inside. So I'll kind of show you what's still hanging around inside, and then we'll move out here and I will show you what's been going on out here this summer. So let's head on inside. So I'm going to quickly show you a few of the plants that are left in my office. Like I said, most of my plants have been moved outside, but my nice plant wall up here, I've left my Sansevierias that I've got here, and then my ZZ, and then I do have a ZZ Raven down here with a couple Syngoniums that are looking a little rough, like they have a few leaves I need to pluck off there. But I did leave my plants in here because the point of having them in here was, so I had something nice to look at while I worked. So these guys are all doing great. I take them down probably once every 2 weeks and give them a really good deep watering, and they've continued to grow and thrive. So even though they don't get direct sunlight, they are still doing pretty well. So it hangs outside right now, and Moose is definitely enjoying the free reign of the house. You don't see her very much, but she's my 12-year-old. Here, lay down. Let's see how big you are. Yeah. So she's my 12-year-old fluffy fat kitty. So quickly here in our downstairs bathroom, I just have my aloe plant, a green spider plant, and then up here is one of my terrariums that I put together. And this guy is actually going to need to be redone because the peperomia and the curly fern that I put in there outgrew that glass a lot faster than I thought they were going to. So that guy's going to need to be redone. And then I do have a neon philodendron over there too. So I'm not going to show you my succulent room because quite honestly, it's a disaster. More so than the rest of my house. It's just kind of a mess. I've just got little succulent propagations and nothing really too crazy in there. And then also for anyone that didn't know this, because I usually don't show my entire body, but I'm pregnant. And I'm feeling very large today, but baby number 2 coming this fall. But up in my kitchen windowsill, I have just some oxalis, a Syngonium that I am rehabbing for a friend, my pearls and jade pothos, which it's never happy. So I don't know what his deal is. Here is my string of turtles propagation that I've had so many people ask about, which I will do a separate video on him. And then I do have just like a little spider plant baby over there. And you can see my deck. Quite a few plants just got thrown to the wolves this summer as well. My deck is actually kind of messy right now. And then over here we just have another green spider plant. My Griffin begonia was doing so well up there, but as you can see, he's not doing so hot at the moment because I have him up here, and one night, for whatever reason, Jack was trying to get down one of the antlers to give to the dog, and when he grabbed the antler, he pulled down all the plants that I had up there. And yeah, now my begonia is, I mean, it's making a comeback. You can see little leaves up there, but he's looking a lot rougher than what he was looking. And then I do have another ZZ Raven up here. So moving outside to our sun porch, I'll kind of just give you, or try to give you a whole shot. It's a little messy out here, but I'm not too worried about it. So these are the majority of the plants that I've still got that are thriving. And I do have a couple pepper plants and tomato plants out on our deck, but I'm not going out there because it's hot. And if you can see, Hank's down there creeping. Oh, he sees me looking at him. He's gonna come up and want to come inside now. Hey buddy, you want inside? You want in here? Come on. Hey. Oh, big stretches. Yeah, you knew I was talking about you, didn't you? Yeah. All right, so starting over on this wall, this is my Silver Splash Skindapsis that I got from Gabriella Plants. This was the one that was half and half pot with the Exotica. And you can see in a second, I'll show you the replacement plant they sent me and the stark size difference in the two plants. But he's growing very well. As you can see, he's kind of taken off here, if I can grab the vine. He's got new leaves every day, and I think they're absolutely beautiful. A little dirty, but this guy is just gorgeous. Down here is a Hindu rope propagation. Up here are a few more of my plants that aren't exactly thriving. I have a Pilea propagation and a green Maranta propagation up here. Neither of which are doing well, as you can see. I have a cream illusion Syngonium there, and I did decide to bring my lipstick plant out from our bathroom and bring it out here for the summer, and this guy is doing pretty well. And I think he might actually bloom again this summer, which is kind of exciting because he just bloomed this winter for the first time. So like I said, please forgive me. It is a little messy out here, but most of the plants that I have over here are either my Marantas or my Calatheas that survived the winter. None of which, as you can see, are doing well. I battled spider mites all winter, and then when the pandemic hit, I kind of threw my hands up in the air and said, you know, what'll live will live, and what dies, dies, I guess. So this is my Calathea lancifolia. It does have a few new leaves starting up, but he's looking a little sad. So is my Musaica. That's another one that for the pandemic, I just was giving straight tap water to because I just didn't have the time or the patience to deal with getting distilled, purified water to water them. So as you can see, because of that, they've got quite a few brown tips in there. So then right here is one of my Milky Way cast iron plants. And this guy needs a little trimming up, but he is finally starting to get some new shoots down there, if you can see, which is exciting because he hasn't done much this winter. And then once I brought him out to the sun porch, he really seemed to appreciate the humidity and really has taken off. That, and I feel like there might be a mouse in here, that has made this plant its home, because I always find like a little dugout hole like that in this plant. So it's a little weird, but he is definitely appreciating the sun porch. Back here, I've just got a Peperomia obtusifolia. And then these guys back here, this one is just a green Maranta, and then this one is my variegated Maranta. And looks like I may need to water them a little bit. A little sad. All right, so this guy I'll move a little bit so you can kind of see better. But this is my Philodendron Ring of Fire. And you can see that wonky new leaf that's coming up through on him. So that is exciting. This was one of my green spaces plants, and he is definitely doing well. So yay for me not killing them. If I could bring them out, you can see he's got some pretty good roots on him, so he is happy. And I'm really excited to see what this leaf looks like. Again, sorry it's not the best lighting, but here is another one of my Syngoniums. I'm not sure the name on that guy. Here is my Tenanthe Burl Marks. He did survive the pandemic, but that's not to say without casualties. Without me taking him down here, he's got quite a few crispy leaves that I need to clean up out of him. Moving over, this one is I should say, it started off as a snow queen. As you can see, most of the leaves looked like that. And this winter, he wasn't getting as much light as he wanted to, so he's now reverted into more of a marble queen. So they're the same thing. It's just the colorations on them. And moving over, this guy is actually a fairly new acquisition. I had found him at Walmart, of all places, right before the pandemic started. And it's a nice full Hindu rope. And I believe I paid $13 for this big pot. So that was pretty exciting. Moving downwards, as you can see, kind of just made myself a DIY floating shelf. I needed something that I could put some of my planters that weren't in macrame, just to kind of get them off the ground, because Jack's pretty good about not messing with my plants, but the sun porch is kind of his play area, and I didn't want to risk having so many plants on the floor. So starting down here, I've got my Manjula pothos, which is doing quite well. The leaves are still a little on the small side, but they'll get there. Back here is Moonshine Sansevieria. Let's see, what do we have down here? So this is a Prince of Orange philodendron. As you can see, he wasn't getting as much light as he would have preferred where he was. So now that he is in this window, I'm hoping that he will start getting the light that he requires and so desires. But this new leaf that's coming out is really pretty. And then back here, I have my Rapido Tetrosperma from Lisa at Itty Bitty Ladybug Lisa. And I believe that one is just put out. This was a new leaf. And again, he was somewhere where he wasn't getting as much light as he wanted. So there's no fenestrations on that guy. Then going back up to my awesome hanging bars that my husband made me is my Monstera Adansonii wide form. And this dude is trying to take over the world. He is reaching and grabbing for anything that he can get his little vines around. So I haven't decided if I'm going to leave him as a hanging plant and let him vine, or if I should take him down and give him a moss pole, because I don't know how well you can see that. My arms aren't as long as I would like, but he is just growing like crazy. So he is definitely a thriver. Back here we have another neon philodendron. And if you remember my plant tour from last summer, this was one of the variegated leaves that I had gotten. Ooh, there we go. And that variegated leaf is still there, and still probably one of my favorite leaves on this guy. Up here, again, another Maranta that survived the pandemic, but albeit not without casualties. This is my lemon lime Maranta, and of course he's looking a little rough, but he's still alive. He's a survivor. So this was another one of my Snow Queen pothoses, as you can see, that didn't get adequate lighting this winter and had started to revert more into Marble Queen. But luckily now that he's getting the light that he likes, he's getting more of that Snow Queen leafage going on. Let me back up. You can kind of see this. My obnoxiously large spider plant hanger here. Just normal green one on top. And then a regular variegated guy on the bottom here. And let me spin this around because most of the growth is on the back side here. And of course you really can't see it, but here, let me take this down. All right, so I took this guy down off of the pole so I could show you a little bit better, but this is the replacement plant that Gabriella Plants had sent for the Silver Splash Skindapsis that they had sent. That was like the 50-50 Splash and Exotica. And I'll just move this over here so you can kind of see the size comparison. So this was all that I had received for my first Silver Splash order. And as you can see, the size comparison between what I got and what I got as a replacement just is ridiculous, the size comparison between the two. And I will say that these plants have both been in the same area of the house, so they've both gotten the same light requirements for growth wise. And obviously the plant that Shane had sent as a replacement is doing fan-flippin-tastic. Again, this is probably one of my favorite plants in my collection right now. So at the time when I did this unboxing and the video from Gabriella Plants, which I'll put the link to that video down below in the description, but I don't think people really understood exactly why I was upset. But as you can see with the replacement plant and what I got, just the size comparison isn't even comparable. But again, I thanked Shane up and down for sending that replacement, and yeah, they're gorgeous plants. And I will say, I have ordered from Gabriella Plants since then. All right, so moving downwards from where that Silver Splash was hanging in this corner, I will start up here. This is one of my newest babies. It's very dirty, but I was able to score a silver sword from Gabriella Plants on one of their ghost updates. And when I tell you that I was flipping excited, I want to say this was like a 10:30 at night ghost update. And I couldn't believe that it was actually on the website, so I snagged it really quick, and I am very pleased. But I do need to clean this poor guy's leaves. And as you can see, he's still in his nursery pot, and he's kind of just chilling in there because I don't have any really pretty cover pots that I think look good with him yet, so he's just chilling in there. So moving downwards is my Monstera Deliciosa, and I'm not sure if I've discussed it in any videos that I've filmed yet, but back in the spring when the lockdown first started, I had moved a couple of my plants out to the sun porch a little early, just to kind of see how they reacted to the overnight temps, because the overnight temps still weren't high enough to to put out all my plants. But I figured I would, put my Monstera and a couple of my pothos outside just to see how they did. Well, I moved them out here, lockdown hit. I completely forgot about bringing them back inside, and this guy suffered horribly. He got horrible frost damage. As you can see, I had to cut off entire branches of him because there was so much cold damage. Oh, look, I got a little mushroom growing there. That's nice. but I had to cut off huge branches. So the leaves that I've got growing on it now are a little on the smaller side. So moving downwards here, just my little dramatic Photonia back here. Here is another of my newest acquisitions, but this is Brantianum that I scored from Steve's Leaves, and he is doing amazing. Look at how pretty he is. I will link the video to this unboxing down below as well, or up here, one of the two, probably up here. So this is another one of my pre-pandemic acquisitions that I didn't get a chance to show you, but I was able to find a Birkin in Madison, Wisconsin, and it was actually at Feli's Flowers, and Myra from Just Myra had tipped me off to this, and she said, hey, if you're looking for Birkins, Feli's has a couple in stock. And I believe I paid $18 or $17 for him. And when I had gone up there, there was only 2 there. So thank you again, Myra, for the hot tip. But I got myself a Birkin. And these are the 2 newest leaves right here. And if you look down here, you can see the red outline on the edge of the leaves here. And that is because this is kind of a hybrid plant. And some people might not like that, but I think it adds to the plant. And my leaves are still coming out white, so I am still pleasantly pleased with this guy. So then coming back up here, I have another variegated Maranta. This is this is my poor ZZ that I thought I was killing, and I've had quite a few people ask me about, but here he is, still alive, still doing okay. Didn't die. He's just out on the sun porch here, just chilling for the summer. He's getting a little floppy. I need to give him better supports. As you can see, I've just got a couple of chopsticks in there right now. But he is doing good. And then down here is another recent acquisition. And this is one that I have not seen in stores, and I don't think I've ever seen it for sale on any of the plant sites that I kind of stalk, but this is a Piccolo Banda. And this one I had gotten from Hertz. I was just checking out Hertz's website randomly, like I do. I saw it and I grabbed it really quick. So I'm actually pretty excited about him. As you can see, he's got quite a bit of new growth. Little flower stems coming up there. But if you watch my unboxing of this plant, he was really compact and really like smushed together. So you can see that he is filling out and kind of relaxing, and it is a very beautiful plant. I think I paid like $7 for him. So he's very, very pretty. Hey, so I'm just gonna interject here quick because I'm noticing it more, but I'm really struggling to breathe. I promise I don't have COVID. I'm just pregnant and it's hot and I'm out of breath. So I'm sorry for the... So down here I have another Rapido Tetrosperma. When I got him, he was in pretty rough shape, and he's finally starting to get some new growth on him, albeit it's not fenestrated, but he's starting to grow. So I am quite excited about that because I was worried for a while there, because as you can see, he was not the healthiest plant when I got them. But he is perking up. Oh, and you can see there's another new leaf right there. And again, now that he's out on the sun porch, hopefully the additional sun and humidity, and he'll get some more fenestrations. Then over here is another one of my favorite plants at the moment. But this is my Syngonium elbow Barrigata. This was another green spaces plant, and this is the newest leaf on him, and it is gorgeous, or at least I think it's gorgeous. You can see the size difference that this leaf grew out when he was out on the sun porch with the additional light and humidity, and these were winter growth leaves. So there is quite a size difference in those two. So I would say he is happy and thriving, especially out here. Moving down is my Hawaiian spider plant that, again, Lisa had sent me, which is doing really well. It's getting quite a few new leaves in there. It's pretty. And also if I can get him in frame completely, is my whalefin sansevieria. And I'm gonna spin him around here, or spin him around so you can see this. But he had a baby, but the baby broke. I don't know if you have had this happen to any of your whalefin babies, but this was extremely disheartening. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with him. If you can see in there, you can see the other half of the leaf where he split off. I don't know if it was damaged and that's what caused it, or what actually caused it, but it was very disheartening. So again, the sun's not gonna be my friend right now, so I'm just gonna quickly go over the plants I have on this side. But this is a variegated lipstick plant. This is my mama curly spider plant, which I've cut off most of the babies off of her and have them propagating in the house. But she is full and bushy and honestly probably needs to be repotted sooner than later. So down here we have my silvery and Skindapsis, and as you can see, she's not exactly liking me right now. Her leaves are curled, but she is putting out new growth. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong with her at the moment, but yeah, she's struggling. And then right here, I'll try to back up for these guys, but right here is my Skindapsis Pictus. You go up, he grew like a weed this winter. And I'll be doing a different video on him and my Cebu Blue because I will be chopping and propping him up. So keep an eye out for that video. Here's some of my curly spider plant babies. And then here is my Cebu Blue, if you can see it, but his vine is going up and over and trying to go down into my spider plant babies. But he is another one that I will be chopping and propping fairly soon here. So then down here, if you can see it with the terrible lighting, but I do have Serrapegia woodii, a string of hearts, which he's putting out some new growth there. And then over here, we just have a rehab golden pothos, which he is recouping nicely. So I'll just quickly go through what I have on my tiered hanger here. I decided to put a lot of my cacti and succulents on him this year, basically just to keep them away from the baby. So I have a black coral sansevieria here. I don't know how well you can see it, but this is my fairy cactus castle, my fairy castle cactus. Oh. And he actually did get sunburned. I put him outside and forgot to bring him back inside. He's a little brown sunburn, but he will recoup. So moving downwards here, I have my donkey's tail. I have a couple mother of thousands propagations. My poor little cactus is looking really droopy. He had a rough winter. My Hoya Crimson Queen is back here. And then a couple more cactus propagations. And then down here are just a few more random succulents. My watch chain, and honestly, I'm having a mom brain right now, and I can't think of what half of these are called at the moment. So hopefully you can see them. So moving upwards here, this is one of my favorite growers at the moment. It's my Hoya Helix, and I actually put him in a bird cage, and over the winter he has been growing and vining and weaving himself into the top of this bird cage. So you can just see the leaves are nicely hanging in it, and I just think it looks really pretty in there. So just patiently waiting for some blooms on that guy. And then down here is my Exotica. So then down here is my Exotica, another one that's not doing so hot, but not dead yet. Then up here is my Philodendron Brasil, which has a lot of new growth on him, and he is looking mighty fine. And then last but not least down here, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but there is my new Micans. And I was indifferent about this plant when I would see it in stores, but now that I actually have one and I've been able to watch it start growing, I'm really becoming smitten with this guy. The leaves are beautiful and they've got that soft velvety feel to them. They're just really pretty. So I'm excited to see him grow some more. All right, guys, so there is my summer 2020 pandemic houseplant tour update. Hopefully it wasn't too excruciating for you. Like I said, sorry about the breathing. My bad. But I hope you enjoyed seeing how some of my plants are doing. I know I've gotten a lot of questions on updating on plants, which now that I'm filming again, I will get back to answering you. So sorry on the delay on that, but you guys are awesome. If you've made it to the end of the video, you're double awesome. But please make sure to check out some of those videos that I have tagged down in the description and throughout this video. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Hank. Hey, Mama's done talking to herself. You want to go back inside now? Hey, you want to go back inside? You whined through the whole video, and now you're just ignoring me. How rude.